Hello everyone, this is Eddie. Just coming back to talk about how to program the variable frequency drive to be operated with digital inputs. So this is really cool because it gives us a lot more control than just the keypad will. So the goal here is we want to start and stop the VFD with push buttons, and then we want to select a forward or reverse mode, and we also want to be able to set the speed with 2 switches. So 5 inputs to control this. So if we look here on the VFD, we already have the 5 inputs wired to it. So the first thing that we need to understand is nothing is happening when I'm hitting this button. And that is because we have not set it up to recognize that button. So I'm going to hit enter, and I want to scroll up to P, hit enter, and we want to go to parameter 46, and I want to set it to 2. Parameter 46 is the start source, so what's going to activate it. So we want to set it to 2 because that is the digital input of the terminal block. And terminal 2 is going to be the one that we use to start it. So I'm going to hit enter. And now, if I hit the green button, we'll see that it now it'll start up. And if I hit the red button, that will turn it off. And I can reset that by twisting it. So it's still not going to run. We need to set it up to run. So I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to go to parameter 47. I'm going to hit enter. And this is set to run from the drive potentiometer. I want to set this to be 2. That's going to say keypad frequency. I think we actually want 7, which is going to be preset frequency. You can obviously scroll through all of them or look them up to see what the different values are, but we want to preset the frequency so it goes at the speed we want it to. So I'm going to hit the enter button to lock that in. So that is the next step. The next thing that we need to do is I'm going to hit escape until the P is highlighted. And now I want to go up to the T level. This is going to be the terminal blocks. So I think the first one I want is T062, which is going to be digital input terminal block 02. This is the one that's going to be used to start it. And if I hit enter, we can see that right now it is set to 49, which is 3-wire start. This has obviously a lot of settings. It has 49 settings. We have a couple options here. The 2 main ones are either going to be 48, which is 2-wire, or 49, which is 3-wire. The difference is, if I set it for 2-wire and I hit the button, I have to hold this button down in order to keep it running. Or I could use something like a switch, which will always, just by the nature of the switch, be latched on and stay running. If I set it to 3-wire to setting 49, the button is going to behave like the switch. So as long as I have a stop button wired onto it to stop it, it'll just run continuously. So the difference is 2-wire will stop when I let go of the button. 3-wire will keep running when I let go of the button, and I'll have to hit that stop button. So that's the next thing we want. So I'm going to hit escape. Now we want to go to terminal 63 or T063, and this is going to be for digital input terminal block 3. and it's set for 51, which I think is again what we want, which is 3-wire direction. This means that when we bring power to it from switch 1, by turning switch 1 on, it's going to reverse. When there's no power, it's going to be in forward mode. I can also have it is 50, which is going to be 2-wire control, which is going to work pretty much like 2-wire control before, except it's going to reverse the motor. So in this case, I would have to hold the button down in order to reverse it. 51 allows me to select the direction, and the same button is going to put it as forward or reverse. So just gives you a couple different options for how to wire and program this. So we want 51. So now we have the directional control. Last, we need to deal with the preset frequencies. And this is a little bit complicated. So I'm gonna keep hitting escape, and I wanna go to 65, which is terminal block 5, and I wanna make sure that that is set for 7, which is preset frequency. That's all it needs to be. Again, we have options. We can go up or down, but 7 is what we want. And the same thing for T066. We want that to also be 7, which is preset frequency, because these are the two inputs that we're going to use to set that frequency. So now we need to specify what frequency we want. So we have the switches set to choose the frequency, but what frequency are they choosing? So I'm going to keep going up until I get to A. So A410 should be the first one highlighted, is going to be preset frequency 0. So this is a little bit non-intuitive. It counts in binary here, and if you're not familiar with binary counting, it can be a little bit weird. But basically, preset frequency 0 is what happens when both of those switches, switch 2 and switch 3, are off. So if I hit enter, it's going to display 0 hertz, which is what I want. When both of those are off, I want it to not be moving, so I want it to be 0 hertz. If I go up to A411, this is going to be preset frequency 1. And if I hit enter, that's going to be at 30 hertz. So preset frequency 1 is going to be switch 2, the one that's connected to the terminal block 5, is on, and switch 3 is off. And I can adjust this frequency with the up and down arrow, and I can hit the select button to move to different parts of the decimal. But we want it to be at 30, so I'm going to leave it there. And then I'm going to go to A412 and hit enter. And that is set for 60. So A412 is going to be when switch 3 is high and switch 2 is off. So that sets it to 60 hertz, same as the previous one. And then I also want to go to A413. And this one is not set correctly. I actually want to set this to 90, or to 60, sorry. So this one is preset frequency 3, and we get that when both switches, switch 2 and switch 3, are turned to high. So basically, by doing it this way, whenever switch 3 is activated, it's going to be 60 hertz, regardless of what switch 1 or switch 2 is doing. A little bit complicated, but you know, that's the basic idea here. So I'm going to just keep hitting escape. And now I'm going to just try this out. So if I hit the green button, we can see it turns on. So the run has appeared. You can always tell if it's on by whether it says run up here. I'm going to toggle switch 1. We can see that as I toggle it, it's changing between forward and reverse. So when switch 1's on, it's going in reverse. So now I'm going to back up and hit switch 2, and we can see that it is going to ramp up to 30 hertz. When I turn switch 2 off, it goes back down to 0. And then when I hit switch 3, it's going to ramp up to 60 hertz. And if I hit switch 2, nothing's going to happen. And when I turn that back down, it's going to go back down to 0 hertz. And then to turn it off, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to press this, and you can see that that run is going to vanish. So the run has vanished, and in a little bit, we're going to hear the whole thing power off. Or at least I am. You're not, because I'm going to end this video now. So hopefully this was helpful in showing you how to set up the VFD so it can run using 5 digital inputs that are 2 buttons and 3 switches.